Hello, welcome to the Wedding Reporter podcast. I have a really fun episode for you today. We are talking about the most recent celebrity weddings in summer of 2024, and I have Rachael Haisten today. And she is a longtime friend of mine in the industry, and Rachael is the social event sales manager at Four Seasons Nashville. And they have been open since November 2022. She handles all social events and weddings at the property. And fun fact, Rachael just got married in February and now she's expecting her first baby in November. And she has a very full 2024. So, welcome, Rachael. I'm excited to talk with you.
Thanks. I'm so excited to talk about these.
Oh
So
my
much
gosh.
controversy around some of these weddings.
So much controversy with these weddings. Oh, but it's so fun to just watch. We have three weddings we're going to talk about today. I seriously can't think of someone more perfect to talk about it with than you because like I feel like throughout the years you're always like my go-to on like what's happening in the celebrity world, and like you're one of my only other like industry friends who watches The Bachelor and Bachelorette, so I'm always like, okay, let's talk about it like whenever I see you. And so
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, this is going to be so
Yeah.
fun. um
Yes.
yeah. And like forever ago, you got to meet Chris Harrison because you like hosted an event with him at one of
Yes.
the venues you worked at. And so that
Yes.
was cool too. And so I'm like, you have insider scoop here. Um
Yes. Exactly.
yes,
All the scoop.
all the scoop. So, okay, the first wedding we're going to talk about is Olivia Culpo and Christian McCaffrey's wedding. So, this is probably the most controversial wedding I would say that has happened this summer.
1,000%.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
I
in case
think
you
we
don't
should start with
know,
the dress,
yeah.
because I feel like that got the most flack, is her
Oh,
dress
yeah.
choice.
Yes.
Um, I was a little bit surprised by it. I don't know about you. I was kind
Hmm.
of shocked by the dress choice. I thought it was going to be a little more form-fitting. Because she's stunning. I mean, let's be
Oh,
real.
yeah.
Like she would look good in a paper bag.
Right.
But I wasn't like surprised by it in a bad way. It's just a lot more modest. But I thought
Hmm.
it fit the venue very well. I thought with the venue
Yes.
they chose, I thought her dress choice was amazing. It definitely gave me princess vibes.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, for sure.
okay.
And
I
it
didn't
was
love the
like,
sleeves. I will say that.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, so it was, in case you haven't seen it, I'll put this all on the blog for those who are listening, but her wedding dress was just like super conservative wedding dress, like neckline up to here, like very long sleeves and just very simple and
And all white.
plain,
Nothing,
all
no
white,
design. Yeah.
beads up the back. Um Yeah, it was such an interesting choice for her, like someone who is Miss Universe and like, can wear anything, like supermodel vibes here. And then for her to
Yeah.
wear something like this just seems like a little out of character in a way.
Yeah. I'm
But
sure
I
it's hard though with her being Miss Universe. I'm sure it was hard
Mhm.
for her to pick a dress because she's been in so many gowns,
Oh
that I'm
yeah.
sure she was like, I want to feel like a bride. I don't want to feel like I'm doing a pageant. So
Mhm.
I understood the like anti-glitzy aspect of it. I was just very
Right.
shocked by the complete like neck to toe like coverage.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah. And she's just getting so much flack for this online, and I think it's hard too because it's like when it's your wedding, you want to wear what you want to
A
wear, and like
thousand
you said,
percent.
she's, like, been able to wear all the gowns that she's ever wanted to wear, and so this is just, like, a departure for her to actually, like, be who she really is and want,
Mhm.
something totally different than, maybe what she's used to wearing. And yeah, I think a lot of people just had beef with that, and in doing research with this, I found, this girl on TikTok just like completely ranting over over
Oh,
the
yeah.
dress,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm
That's
just
like a whole controversy now is that girl on
yeah.
TikTok, like,
Mhm.
going in on her about her dress and the wedding and, like, them pushing back on her. It's been, like, a whole
Mhm.
story, which also, like, stinks for them, like, to have their wedding turned into something that's, like, so controversial. Like, yes, they're sharing it with the world, like, they
Mhm.
have signed up for this because it is getting posted everywhere, but just for that girl on TikTok to kinda take it and then, like, go so in on them, I'm like, "Well, that's what they chose." Like, they chose to
Mhm.
have, this type of wedding. She chose to wear this type of dress, and I thought she looked stunning. I mean, you can't
Oh,
say
yeah.
you looked at the photos and she didn't. I mean, there's not a lot of people that can pull off that dress and wear it so well, and she did it very, very
Mhm.
well. I mean, I would have liked to see the sleeves a little tighter on her arms, but, like, that
Mhm.
was my only yeah.
Yeah, I agree too. And yeah, like you said, it totally fit what the venue was. They got
The
married
venue,
in Rhode
beautiful.
Island,
Yeah,
like at this gorgeous, like ocean house, like
yep,
historical home, like mansion place. And like, yes, it totally fits the aesthetic of where they were. However, I'm not sure it fits the season at all. And I mean, it is a
right.
lot cooler in Rhode Island, like, and she did get married indoors. I think I would have more of a problem with it if she got married like outdoors, like by the beach or by the ocean, like wearing
Yes.
that, but like it was an indoor wedding. And so I was more okay with that if you really want my opinion, you know? Obviously, I'm all advocating for, like, do you and do whatever you want
You
for
do
your
you, yes.
wedding, but yeah.
I thought the after party dress though, amazing. Like,
Oh
her
my
dress
gosh.
changes were stunning. I
Oh,
mean,
yeah,
there's
totally.
not one thing I would have changed for her other dresses. They were
Mhm.
very her, loved them. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, and the when she changed into I think it was, like, her reception dress, it was more just, like,
Mhm.
almost like a house gown, like, the chiffon sleeves, and it, had more,
Yes,
transparency to the dress, like, not as covered up,
yes,
even though it was long sleeve, but it almost felt like, "This is my home, like, my summer home, come enjoy my party," like,
yes.
that
That
was
was
sort of the
definitely the
vibes
vibes
I
they
got.
gave off. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
I love
yeah.
the vibes they gave off. I thought he looked so handsome, so dapper.
Oh, yeah.
I thought their whole bridal party looked amazing,
Oh, yeah.
from photos I've seen since, like, more surface. I think I love how they kept it, like, still pretty private. I mean, to me, it gave off, like, one of, like, the royal weddings in London. Like, that's the
Oh,
vibe
yeah.
to me it gave off, just how they kept it very private and intimate until the photos have surfaced, and then she
Mhm.
shared everything.
Oh, yeah. I loved that too.
Yeah.
Um, one more thing I wanted to say about her initial dress for her ceremony. She had, like, a reel or something of her actually, like, changing into her dress, and she had this,
Mhm.
like, bustier on with, like, the chiffon sort of
Yes.
sleeves, and a lot of people were saying, like, if she didn't put that added, like, layer on,
Layer
the
on.
dress
Yeah.
yeah, the dress would have been, like, absolutely stunning as far as the bustier goes, but, um, yeah, and I was kinda surprised that she had that elaborate of something going on underneath the dress as
100%.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was like, "Wouldn't
It was
that
definitely,
ruffle
like,
or
a
show
process to get
through?"
her in
Like
that.
yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
definitely. But yeah, going to her, like, exit dress, like, the reception dress, like, with the bird cage sort of, like, skirt and everything, it was so
Loved it.
cute. The gloves, like,
Yeah.
all the accessorizing, I think, was just, like, so spot on and so cute, and yeah, I loved it.
Yeah. I think her dress changes were perfect for her. They definitely fit the vibe. They still kept it so classy, which she is.
Mhm.
And like I said, I mean, the thing that stinks about it is, like, obviously they have gone through it with opinions. But I know,
Right.
like I said, it comes with it when you're sharing, your big day and have the photos and people. But um, I'm glad that they kept true to like what they wanted. She kept true to the dress she wanted, which is how it should be.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. Um, and what I found super interesting is that she, I don't think had any hair and makeup happening, like,
No,
for
she didn't.
like, she just kept her hair down and simple. It says she skipped mascara, lip liner, and eyebrow makeup, and she never felt more beautiful than she was at her ceremony under her veil. She really wanted the simplicity of each component to harmonize perfectly. So, man, that is
I loved her
brave.
hair down. Yeah, I loved her hair
Yeah.
down with the veil. I mean, her
Yeah.
hair looked beautiful.
Mhm.
It just was a very natural look, and I think it surprised a lot of people
Mhm.
because that's not what you see a lot. So I think, from seeing her day to day and seeing her at events, she's obviously polar opposite, and she does all these different looks and is always very made up. And, I think it's great that she kept true to herself because that's how you should feel. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, I was the same way on my wedding day that I was like, I don't want to feel like I'm so made up that I don't feel like myself. Like, I want to feel very
Mhm.
me, but just like a really great version of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah, and I think it is kinda cool how she's, like, flipping the script on this too, because like you said, a lot of people, like, want that whole, like, made up look and, like, the false eyelashes or, like,
Yes.
getting work done and things like that for your in preparation for your wedding day. But she was kinda like, "No, that's, like, my normal look every day. I'm gonna do the opposite of what most people
Yes.
do and just go all natural," which I
Yeah.
think was pretty cool, and maybe we'll see that trend going on, we'll see.
Oh, yeah. I definitely think she's gonna start a trend for sure, especially
Yeah.
with this dress.
Oh, yeah.
I think she'll definitely start something.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
as big as like Princess Kate, but like I definitely think she'll start a trend.
Mhm. I think so too. Yeah.
Especially the hair down with the veil. I think she's gonna start a for sure trend with that.
Yeah. I know, cause yeah, for a while, it was just, like, all updos or just, something simple,
Yeah.
like, usually it's
She
like
looks
you
very
get your
timeless
hair
to
done.
me.
Yeah,
Yeah, she looks
definitely,
very
just
timeless to
keeping it
me, very
straight.
classic. I think she'll look back on those photos and be like, you can love them for years to come, which is great.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Um, so yeah, it was a tented wedding reception out on the lawn. The decor just looked so pretty. They had like biodegradable confetti as the exit, which I think is so fun. And I feel like a lot of venues
Yes.
don't allow you to do that.
No,
And
no,
so
it's very
I
rare.
know, I'm like, even indoor venues, I'm like, does the Four Seasons allow you to have confetti?
But, like, also I will say she did it very smart that she,
Hmm.
um, did it outside and it was biodegradable. Like, that's what I always tell
Right.
students. I'm like, if you wanna do it outside, just make it biodegradable, and then you don't have to worry about
Hmm.
it. So, honestly, that was a great choice on their end. And
Yeah,
you're
for
helping
sure.
the environment, which is great.
Oh, definitely. Yeah. Was there anything else that you wanted to talk about as far as Olivia
I
and
don't
Christian's
think
wedding
so. I think
goes?
that was, like, the most touch points about their wedding.
Mhm. Yeah, it was mainly the dress that we needed to,
Yeah,
like, hash out here.
yeah. I think that was, like, the
Um,
biggest controversy surrounding it.
oh, yeah, for sure. All right, let's move on to Hannah Ann and Jake Funk's wedding. So Hannah Ann is a Bachelor alum, and Jake Funk is an NFL player, and this couple initially tied the knot in Italy a month prior to their
Yes.
reception. So it was like we already knew she got married, and then all of a sudden it was like, whoa, she did like another big thing. And so
Yes,
I see this
yeah.
as a
It
huge
came
trend
out about her
happening.
reception. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. So they initially got married at a castle in Tuscany, just the 2 of them, like, I don't even think they had family or anything at their wedding, like, their actual ceremony, they just kept it really
No.
private. Yeah,
Yes.
um,
Um, I will say, like, Hannah Ann wasn't one of my favorites on the Bachelor Bachelorette
Right.
train. But I feel like I like her more now that she's off of those shows and kind of less in the spotlight. I feel like I've started
Mhm.
to like her more, and I watch her on TikTok. She makes her really cute TikToks about the two of them, and she's so supportive of his career, and so I think she's grown on me a little bit since she's been off the show. But
I
I
agree.
love the way they did their wedding. I think she looked 20 out of 10. I loved her dress choice. I thought she
Mhm.
fit Italy very well. I thought it fit the two of them very well. I love that they kept it intimate. You can tell that they really love each other, which I love that between the two of them. So,
Oh, yeah. For sure. I just love how they kind of went a little bit out of the box with how they planned this wedding. And,
yes.
in another wedding we're going to talk about, they did something very similar where,
Yeah.
they do the whole, ceremony that's very private. And then afterwards, they go on a honeymoon and then they do a big party with their friends. And so, kind of seeing this switch of like, having 3 separate events, one very private, and then even switching the honeymoon reception sort of like,
Yes.
the usual of how people normally do it, I think is a cool
Yeah.
trend, but, um,
I love the
yeah.
reception photos. The reception photos just got posted out. I love that they did it in Miami. It's kind of cool that they did
Yes.
it somewhere different, somewhere fun. The aesthetic of that, the florals and the decor totally fit where they were. It fit July. Like I thought the
Mhm.
decor was on point. Like it was beautiful.
Yeah, I agree. I thought the decor was cool. They had, like, these mirrored
Hmm.
tables, and then
Yeah.
she had, like, all the palm fronds, like,
Yeah.
going on all of the tables, which totally fit the theme, and then, they kinda did, like, a pop of a pink napkin with, like, the palm fronds
Yes.
on it, and, like, that was so cute just to go along with
Yeah.
that theme. What did you think about her dress for the reception, the Miami reception?
I loved it. I thought it was so fun.
Yeah.
It definitely was very different. I mean,
Mhm.
which is good for her. I mean, I feel like I would want to do a similar vibe that if I was just coming for the party, I would definitely want it to be a party vibe. And I feel like that's what she did.
Mhm.
And I think that was great. I loved her hair. I thought her hair was so
Mhm.
pretty. Um,
Yeah.
I thought her aesthetic was really, really pretty.
Mhm. Yeah, I think for me, her dress seemed like a little casual for the
It
occasion, but,
was,
like, because
yeah.
it was short, which is fine. She already did the big dress, like, when she did her ceremony and everything, but, like, I was looking at
But the
pictures of, like,
reception was
her.
pretty formal. Yeah.
Yeah. I did see photos, like, with her and some of the other Bachelor alum and, like, some of her friends and stuff, and it
Yes.
almost seemed like her friends were, like, a little more dressed up than she was, and
Then
so
she
I
was.
was like,
Yeah, I did see
I
those.
wonder if I mean, they were wearing just, kinda like beachy sundresses and stuff, but, a little more elevated, but, um,
Yeah.
yeah, I just kind of was wondering, like, how the attire was, like, communicated versus, like, what she chose to wear and stuff, so but yeah, I
Yeah.
I
If
still loved
she
her dress. I still thought it was really pretty.
Yeah. Yeah. It
Yeah.
definitely was like shorter for it being such a formal because it looked sit down. Like it looked like a sit down
Right.
reception.
Mhm.
Which is not something you see all the time. And especially with decor like that, and especially with a celebrity wedding, normally a lot of them are black tie and, fully formal
Mhm.
and all of that. So they definitely went out of the box and very different for their whole planning process.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Yeah, and once again, it's like, I can see this being a trend, like, I
Yes.
feel like people are
I feel
just
like this is already a trend and she's
it
gonna make it
is I
skyrocket.
know. Just having more, like, full liberty with, like, you do whatever you want, like, you don't even have to do it in the order that everyone else is doing it, like,
Yeah,
you pick
there's no
which
right or
order
wrong
you
to
wanna
how
do
you do
it.
it.
Yeah,
Yeah,
for sure. But,
yeah,
I did see that she said she wanted to shine like a diamond at her reception, so and I think her dress
Yes,
did
it was
just
definitely
that.
glitzy, that's for sure.
Mhm.
But
Yeah.
like I said, I mean, I think fit where they were, I
Mhm.
mean, being Miami, I mean, I feel like I don't think I was shocked once I learned where it was. I was like, "Oh,
Right.
okay, that kind of fit them being in Miami and, her hair being
Mhm.
half up, half down." I was like, "That's a very, like"
That it was
it was not
cute.
like a Latin flair, but it was just like a, like, summer nights flair to me of
Oh, yeah.
her. Yeah.
Mhm. I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She gave me, like, summer nights vibes, but
Mhm.
like a glitzy version.
Oh, yeah. I agree. Yeah, and I saw they had, like, cute little nods to, like, Maryland crab cakes and, like, Tennessee
Yes.
whiskey, and then I thought the food choice was so interesting, they had paella, which I guess maybe kinda goes with the Miami vibe, but, like, yeah, paella with, like, going with how the decor was too, I feel like
It's
was, like,
very
a little
different. Yeah.
disconnect, so different for me, but, I mean, it was cool because they did what they wanted to do, and
Yeah.
they
And like
pulled
you
it
said,
off.
I think that's going to, like, start a trend of, like, you can serve anything to your wedding guests as
Oh,
long as
yeah.
it's true to you and, like, what you want, you can get
Mhm.
away with anything served to them.
Oh, for sure. I agree. Alright, should we move on to Cole Swindell's wedding?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, this one's really fun because part of it happened in Nashville, which is where we're based, and a
Yes.
lot of our vendor friends were involved in this one, so
I
I was excited
know.
to just, like, break it down and be like, "Oh my gosh, our friends are so talented, and they, like, helped with this," and, like yeah, it was really cool. But
I love
yeah go ahead.
First of all, I love him, I think he's great.
Mhm.
I I don't know that much about her. I did some, like, searching a little bit, obviously, like, once the wedding came out, but I don't know too much about her or how they met. Um, but I love them together. Like I said, I think he's great.
Mhm.
To me, it was like a very classic Tennessee slash elsewhere wedding.
Yeah,
Um,
I agree.
I loved his attire. I thought he looked like an old school country getting
Mhm.
married, but in like a very dapper way. Like I just thought his outfit was great.
Yeah, I thought he looked great too. Yeah, for sure. So they did a family-only ceremony in Sonoma, California. So it was at this, like, chateau vineyard, which was really beautiful. I guess she did her
I
own
loved
makeup
her
as
dress.
well for that.
She was
Oh, yeah.
very boho and like I loved the sleeves, everything
Mhm.
about it.
Oh, yeah. It was so gorgeous. Um, and then sort of taking a nod from what Hannah Ann did, they did a
Mhm.
honeymoon in Turks and Caicos right after their ceremony in Sonoma, and so that was kinda cool that they decided to do that, and
Yes.
then, yeah, brought it all back to Nashville, a
And then
250
came to
guest wedding at Cortina Farms. Have you been out there at all?
I haven't, but now I wanna go see it.
Same. Yeah, I haven't either. I feel like I've kind of,
The
like,
photos
connected
I
with them on
saw
Instagram, but, like, I still need to be like, "Can I go and, like, check it out?" But
the photos
yeah,
I saw
it
were
looks
so pretty.
gorgeous, gorgeous. It's right here in
Yes.
Leaper's Fork. Um, our friend
Her dress
Josiah
again.
planned this wedding. Yeah, her dress.
Yeah, love him. I was gonna mention him. He is wonderful. He did an amazing job. I thought
Mhm.
this fit his aesthetic very well. I mean,
Oh,
he
for
just crushed
sure.
it, just like he's
Mhm.
done multiple times over and over. But I thought
Yes.
the entire aesthetic was stunning
Oh,
from
yeah.
yeah.
Josiah goes all out, and it's like he will find a way to make it happen, like, his tenacity is just, like, unparalleled,
Yeah.
um, and, yeah, he found this amazing tent for them that was, like, all black, kinda like
Yes.
rods and clear, and it just looked so cool, Very high class, like building your own venue in a way at Cortina Farms. So it was still outdoors, but they, built this whole venue around it. The
The
chandeliers
venue
looked like they
though,
were from, I don't know,
yeah,
Restoration Hardware or something. Like,
the
yeah.
entire aesthetic looked like that. It was beautiful.
Mhm.
I mean, like the tent he built for that reception was so unique, but like still like keeping with like so many trends that you kind of see, but like it's so unique to them.
Oh yeah.
I mean, this is definitely going to set a very high trend for Tennessee weddings for sure.
Mhm.
Like especially his attire on the in the second Tennessee one with all the tan. You don't see a lot of
Yes.
grooms wear tan. I feel like
Mhm.
he's going to bring that back a little bit. I love the hat. I love the entire suit. I thought her dress for this was beautiful,
Oh yeah.
very simple, but like very chic. I
Mhm.
love the off the shoulder, the buttons, like everything about it was stunning.
I know. It was so pretty, so
Yeah, they
gorgeous.
look very good together.
Mhm. They did
But
like,
Josiah killed it with the design. I
oh
think the
my gosh.
design, yeah.
Absolutely stunning. The big draping in the back. They was it like a screen or a mirror or something that they kinda had, like, as the focal point? I don't know. Whatever
I
it
think it
was,
was
it
a
just looked
mirror.
insane. It was
Yeah,
awesome.
I think it was a mirror.
Wow. That's so cool and so unique. You don't really see a big mirror as, like, a big backdrop at a wedding, but it totally worked out, and I'm sure just the illusion of that,
No.
like, probably just looked
And I
insane.
think you can like I love weddings where you can see like the designer put like their blood, sweat, and tears into this. And like looking at these
Mhm.
photos, you can definitely tell Josiah put his blood, sweat, and tears into his wedding, and he put his all into making sure the design fit them. And I think the design fit them like to a T. I
Mhm.
think he brought a little bit of a California wedding to Nashville for them. I feel like it
Mhm.
fit the same aesthetic that they kind of had in California to here.
Mhm.
But I love that they had the two celebrations. It like you said, it kind of fit what Hannah Ann did, but just two different places. But I love that they did this.
Oh,
I feel
yeah.
like he's a very simple guy, and I think this fit what he is.
Mhm. Definitely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know Curry from Curry& and Co. did all the florals for this
Yes.
wedding. I just interviewed
Yeah. I'm
her,
so
episode
glad for her.
22. Oh, yeah. She's
I'm so glad for
amazing.
her.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
She's
it
the
was
best.
so
She deserves
cool.
this spotlight so much.
Oh my gosh, so much. And, like, it was so cool that, like, on the reception tables, it was like they had, like, mainly candles as the centerpiece and maybe, like, some
Yes.
little bud vases, but, like, on the ends of all the tables is where they went all out with the florals. So it wasn't just,
Yes.
like, a
Which is
tablecloth
something you
that you
don't see a
see.
lot.
I know, it was just, like,
Yeah.
more like the sides of it, which was so cool, I thought, and, like,
Yeah.
I know a lot of times with centerpieces, it's like, you can't always
You
see the
focus on like the
person
high
across
or
from
like
you
what's
or,
on the
like, yeah,
table.
it's too high or whatever,
Yeah.
and, like, and you're an amazing wedding florist. I think you're one of the best in town, and you just, like, make these gorgeous bouquets. We've worked together on some stuff in the past, and so you totally know, the ins and outs of how all of that goes, and so, yeah, I thought it was super creative what Curry did for them.
Yeah. I thought she crushed it. I thought she did an amazing,
Mhm.
amazing job. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Um, oh, and then, yeah, you were saying, like, you weren't sure where Courtney, his wife, is from, and I'm not actually sure either, but I
Yeah.
did
I
see a
don't know.
note,
Like, yeah.
like, she had
I'm not sure how
NBA
they met
dancer
or,
friends, so I'm like, and her
yeah.
NBA dancers did, like, a little dance or something at the wedding, so I'm like,
Yeah.
maybe she was an NBA dancer, but I don't wanna say that for sure, so, yeah, I
They
don't
seem
know.
like a great fit. I think
They do.
seeing the two of them together, I think was an amazing fit. It looks like they are super happy and super in love. So I love them together.
Oh, yeah, me too. And then
Yeah.
they had a Raising Cane's truck for a late night snack, which
All
I thought
about
was
it.
really fun and
I
super
love that.
Southern. I'm like, we just got one opened up on Broadway, and that's just like,
Yes.
I feel like kind of gives that Nashville-ish vibe to the wedding
Yes.
and everything. And so I thought that was a really fun little nod to it. But yeah, I loved like her styling too, like her shoes with like the ankle straps, like totally went. I loved how like her dress kind of like dragged a little with the train in the back, but it was still like super sleek. And yeah, I just thought
Yeah.
it was really cool. So
Yeah.
yeah.
I thought theirs was like laid back, beautiful. I think it was done so well. Yeah.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
So I'll put photos of all of these weddings up on the blog in case you haven't seen them. I'll link out. I kind of got my information from Vogue, People, Brides.com. I'll link all of those in the show notes if you want to go to those sites and kind of like see what all these weddings actually look like. And do you have any like final comments, Rachel?
I don't think so, but I mean,
Yeah.
I love the trends that we're seeing with these celebrity weddings. I love that they're being true to themselves. I love that they are setting amazing new trends. I love that they're showing people to make the wedding day your own because that's the biggest advice I give couples is it should be what y'all want and it should be
Mhm.
something that represents the two of y'all and your story. So I love that we're seeing celebrities kind of do that as well, which I think will kind of
Mhm.
set that bar.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's so cool to just see people doing their own thing on their own
Yes.
timeline, wearing whatever they want. Who cares what anyone thinks, Olivia? Like, she did her.
Yes.
She felt
Yes.
beautiful. We can
Exactly.
all say what we want, but like at the end of the day, it's their day. And, as a celebrity, that's the thing. It's like you're under a microscope. Anything you do, especially a big
Yeah.
wedding, the photos are going to get leaked, even if, you don't release them or anything. It's like you're under that scrutiny, that's, microscope. And so, yeah, but it's fun to analyze. And I love, talking
100%.
about
I mean,
this.
I love that they post them out so we can talk
I
about them.
know, exactly, yeah, and like you said, it's gonna be a huge trend for everyone else too, because they're kind
Yeah.
of the tastemakers, the influencers who are putting out there what other people see and will want to do in their weddings too, so we'll have to do a
Yeah.
little trend report coming up and see if we see that spreading out into the
I
weddings
know.
that you're working and that are in our industry too, so, yeah.
Yeah.
So cool. Well, thank you so much for coming on. This was so fun. I'm so glad that we got
Thank
to
you. It was so
talk.
fun. I loved
And
this.
yes, thank you. All right. Well, we'll talk soon. Bye, Rachel.
Okay. Bye.
Thanks for tuning in to the Wedding Reporter podcast. I hope you learned a little bit and had fun today. To find more resources and podcast episodes, visit NashvilleBrideGuide.com for more information. And as always, click the subscribe button and leave us a review. Until next time, I'm Alyssa DeChico, signing off.